Hi everybody. Today I'm here to answer the question, can a family caregiver be accused of neglect of an elderly parent who refuses care? The answer is that it totally depends on the caregiver's role and the caregiver's activities. Let me ask you a few questions to determine your involvement if you are in this situation as a caregiver, a husband, a wife, a son, daughter, or maybe just another family member or a friend. Then I'll also offer some background about elder neglect so that you can identify whether the situation you are in has circumstances of elder neglect or risk factors for elder neglect. Question: are you involved as a caregiver on a day-to-day or an occasional basis with this elderly person or an elderly parent? 2, are you in a legal role of medical or financial power of attorney agent or a trustee? 3, are you a family member or a friend who really isn't involved on a regular basis, but you're seeing things go on and you're just wondering if something isn't a little off? And then next, is the elderly person living alone in their home with a family member, or are they in some type of care community? Stay with me while I share signs and circumstances that contribute to elder abuse and what you can do. If this is your first time on my channel, I'm Pamela D Wilson. I'm a caregiving expert with 25 years of experience helping aging adults and their caregivers work through the health, financial, and legal aspects of caregiving, including navigating family relationships and situations that may result in elder neglect or abuse. Please do like this video, follow my channel, comment, even if it's only to say thank you. If you have a question for a future video, please place it below this video. Your comments, your likes, your follows, your shares help these videos reach more people around the world. Now, let's talk about what you might be seeing and experiencing around an elderly person's care needs, specific to a description of self-neglect. Self-neglect can be as simple as poor attention to personal hygiene, not washing hair, not bathing, not wearing clean clothing. It can also be the cleanliness level of a home, or forgetting to eat or take medications. Self-neglect can be a refusal of services or assistance that can be helpful for day-to-day living. It's like a parent saying, well, I don't need help. I can do that. Don't worry about me. I can take care of myself. I don't want anybody interfering in my life. Self-neglect or self-harm can also result from unsafe behaviors like refusal to care for a wound, or if a person is in a care community, inattention or poor wound care not provided by the staff in a care community, which could be an assisted living community or a nursing home. Self-neglect can also be a person with memory loss who just wanders out of their home and gets lost, or this person with memory loss is still driving a car and they're starting to have accidents that could potentially seriously harm someone else. Maybe they can't maintain their home. Maybe there's been a fire in the kitchen, or they turned faucets on and left water running and it flooded the house. Maybe there's pets in the home that aren't being taken care of such that they are making a mess. Other aspects related to self-neglect can be depression, a mental health condition, or some type of personality disorder that just results in a lack of motivation or energy to want to maintain self-care and personal hygiene. You also might be seeing an elderly parent or a loved one who is having difficulty with planning and completing projects. So they know they need to go to the doctor, but they don't call and schedule the appointment. Or they had a doctor appointment and they forgot that they had a doctor appointment and the doctor's calling. Or they were supposed to do all these things like open their mail and pay their bills, and that's just not happening. This can indicate difficulty with what is called a loss of executive function, the ability to plan and organize and initiate projects. For some elderly people, a physical disability or some type of limitation can make it difficult to take care of oneself. So if somebody has arthritis or they've broken a hip or something else and they can't move around easily or can't stand, that can cause difficulties in taking care of oneself. And then on the other hand, there is a lack of education about health, like not knowing that, gosh, if this happens, I should go to the doctor. I should do this. Or somebody who just makes poor lifestyle choices. All of these can result in a lack of self-care, self-neglect, and self-harm. In some cases, maybe there was a loss. Maybe a spouse died, and the surviving spouse is really struggling to take care of him or herself because the previously living spouse did everything. Other signs: frequent visits to the hospital emergency room instead of the option of regularly seeing a physician to manage health problems. Some older adults don't even have a primary care physician. And these difficulties, these health problems, can happen overnight, especially if an elderly person has a lot of health conditions and they're unable to manage one and it's causing another, and they're not taking medications and they're just not eating right. People with memory loss also can lack insight, especially if there hasn't been a formal diagnosis. They cannot even realize that they have memory loss if there's nobody around to say, hey, you seem like you're getting a little forgetful. What's going on with your memory? So people with memory loss can experience a lack of self-care that again results in self-neglect and self-harm. Let me share a couple of other risk factors that are less part of the elderly person's daily activity, but more related to other people involved with the elderly person. So these include just bad or toxic family relationships, parents who don't get along with each other, or their adult children who don't get along with each other, and as a result, all of these relationship problems negatively impact an elderly parent's care. There can be an overbearing caregiver who wants all of the control. There can be a power of attorney agent who isn't doing their job, and the other children are saying, you should be doing this. Why are you not doing this? There are so many different challenging family situations that result in elder abuse, elder neglect, and financial exploitation. And unfortunately, these family members don't know what to do. They don't know how to take steps to help their loved one. The other very, very significant risk for elder abuse is any family member, an adult child, another person who is dependent on the income, the housing, or the assets of an elderly person, an elderly parent. And this can extend to caregivers who are hired who eventually move into the home of the elderly parent without anybody knowing. You would be surprised the crazy things that happen. So if you're witnessing any of this and the person that you care for is resistant to care, or if you brought it up in the family and it continues and nobody is interested in solving it, then yes, you could possibly be accused of caregiver neglect for an elderly person because you know what's going on, you see what's going on. Most of the time, though, you as that person or you as that caregiver, you don't know what to do. So where this can eventually lead to is involvement by county social services, adult protective services, the police, and the court system. So if you are an elderly person and you're experiencing any of this, any of these signs, any of these risk factors, or if you are a friend or a family member and you're watching these events go on and you're concerned and you need some advice on What should I do? How do I solve this? You can contact me to schedule a one-on-one consultation. Again, I'm Pamela D Wilson. I'm a caregiving expert with 25 years of experience. Go to my website, PamelaDWilson.com. There's a border at the top. There's a services tab. You can scroll down and click on Elder Care Consultation and fill out the form. I thank you all so much for being here, and I thank the caregiver who asked this question for this video. Again, if you have questions for a video, please do post them below. I will be happy to do a video on a topic or a question that you bring up. I'll see you again soon in another video.